So we're in the village of Knowlton. It's an hour and 15 minutes outside of Montreal, a very popular sort of second home vacation country destination. This house is a 1954 bungalow, a very classic 1950s house. So, you know, formal living room, separate kitchen, bedrooms, all laid out, choppy and not particularly suited for like modern family living. But there was big potential here to open up some spaces. So basically the bones of this house had a lot going for them, but to the untrained eye, it wasn't clear to see what was really happening. So the entrance was completely uninsulated, 3 seasons, rickety windows, plywood floor, and I was able to recreate a space there with a properly insulated 4-season vestibule. Beautiful windows that give it a light and airy space. There's a nice bench that you can sit down and take your shoes off on, but also it's a great place to go and have a morning cup of coffee, take a phone call, what have you. So it serves as a little bit of an entry lounge, if you will. So the kitchen was always in the middle of the house, but it was a closed plan. It used to be an L-shaped layout, and what I did was, in creating the 2 matching openings on either end of the kitchen, created more of a linear style. There is 1 bank of cabinets with no uppers, and then we've got the appliances, sink, dishwasher, stove, fridge, and a bit more cabinetry. The island in the center is an open island. The top of it is a beautiful marble from Siot called Opera Fantastico. It's kind of an unconventional choice. It has tones of blue, pink, mustard, and things like that in it, and it was a hit immediately. The countertops on the 2 side flanking sections are actually maple that are stained and finished with a marine varnish, so they're super durable. And then the shelves on the island tie into those countertops with the same maple. This kitchen is a solid wood kitchen. It's actually made here in Knowlton by a company called Camlin. The hardware in the kitchen is actually handmade. It's from a company in Germany. Leather handles with brass grommets. The more you use it, the better it gets. And the idea behind this kitchen is that it's timeless. In 20, 30 years from now, you could come back and this kitchen should still be here, and it should still be exactly as it was intended. The front of the house has this living room with 2 beautiful features: a huge bay window with almost floor to ceiling windows and a gorgeous original fieldstone fireplace. Both of the elements were present, but were not fully realized in terms of their potential. So through the use of window coverings and built-in bookcases that were added to flank the fireplace, both of those features became a beautiful focal point. Both elements are symmetrical. Bookshelves flank the fireplace. The furniture layout creates a symmetry along with the window coverings in terms of the bay window. And you basically have these really nice sight lines that draw the eye in and create a sort of harmonious overall composition. So the furniture and the decor in the living room is primarily antiques and vintage, along with a few custom pieces. So we have this 1950s hairpin leg ottoman that's custom made with a beautiful ivory leather on it. The sofa is a mid-century modern piece that has been recovered and reconditioned. And then there's these beautiful swivel chairs that are done in a boucle fabric. The idea is that you can be hosting and have guests sitting in the living room while you're working in the kitchen, but the flow through with the open concept means that you can use the living room in a more casual way. The rest of this house is standard 8-foot ceilings, which were typical of the era, but the dining room and the back half of the house with the master bedroom is actually an extension that was done later by the previous owner. So there's a vaulted ceiling in the dining room. We did applied moldings on the ceiling and made it a focal point. The light fixture on the ceiling is a very interesting Serge Mouille-inspired light. And what's nice is because the table isn't really centered in the room, this asymmetrical fixture made it so that you could have multiple seating arrangements without having the light fixture hanging awkwardly halfway over the table. The pink wallpaper is actually vintage Schumacher. I bought it on eBay. It's from several different sellers. Apparently this was like a hot item of the time. It came and my wallpaper installer was here and he said, this is great that you have enough to do the whole room, but it's 3 different dye lots. So the wallpaper is installed around the room in a very creative, artful way that the gradient from one dye lot to the other completely flows and nobody can tell that there's slightly different tones. I think it gives the space life, and the pink from the wallpaper ties back into the pink tones in the marble on the island. So there's a little bit of a rappel, as we say here in Quebec, that's happening from one room to the other that gives it a bit of continuity. The master bedroom is its own suite at the back of the house. There's an emerald green velvet headboard that runs wall to wall in the master, kind of gives it a hotel feel. Beautiful ceramic lamps. There's another vintage wallpaper on the walls. It's actually vintage silk wallpaper from Thailand. It has this beautiful buttery custard yellow color, which is quite nice. And I had some fun mixing some unconventional colors with it. The duvet cover is a rust tone. The carpet is gray and light yellow as well. And then beautiful mid-century modern teak bedside tables. Previously, the master bathroom was a powder room only. I utilized a small floor plate to give a decent sized master bathroom with a very nice shower with this beautiful window centered in the middle of it. Really cool graphic tiles on the floor and wooden shiplap on the walls. And the room in the front is a guest bedroom. It's a very interesting room, vintage bedside tables painted in a mint green color. There's a beautiful emerald green on the walls, and all of the rooms have custom Roman shades that are completely blackout. So it really made it so that the space had a continuity between each bedroom, but each bedroom has its own personality. The bathroom on the main floor does act as a powder room and the guest bathroom. So in this case, I wanted it to be discreet enough that the sink feels like it's in its own alcove, and it creates a delineation from the sink area, and then the toilet and the shower are in their own area. This house is a lot about contrast. There's a lot of light elements here, white trim, moldings, details like that. However, there's some darkness as well. The darkness of the kitchen cabinets, the stone of the fireplace, elements that were in place here. So it's all about a balance between the dark and the light. And I think that the contrast really gives the space a cozy, grounded feeling.